Bruno Fernandez, hat-trick. Paul Pogba with 4 assists. Manchester United 5, Leeds 1. And it's your match review. Guys, we are going to win the league. We are going to win the league. We're going to win the FA Cup. We're going to win the Carabao Cup. We are going to win the UEFA Champions League.
If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel right now so you can see more content of this quality.
All that one side. Look here, football is about banter. Football is about emotion. That's what we live for as fans, you know, the emotion that we get of football, the highs and the lows of football. And right now, Manchester United are on the mountaintops. Yes, I know it's just been one game, but guys, this has been coming. This has been coming, and this is off the back of the season where we finished the season strong. Yes, we lost the Europa League, but our performances were strong. And we are in a good place. And I saw that we were fit when we played our last preseason game against Everton. We blew them away. Even just with our energy, we blew them away. And I saw this team is fit. Coming into this Leeds game, I had no doubt in my mind that we were gonna be outworked and that they were gonna press us and win the ball off us easily. That was never a doubt in my mind, because I saw how fit this team was. And we are ready for the season. Unlike last season, we weren't ready last season. We did not have a preseason like every other team, but we were just not ready. Now we look ready. The guys look fit, they look sharp, and they are ready. And the performance that they gave out today was magnificent. This is how we need to start a season. We started the season now on the front foot with our best foot forward, and it can only go up from here, guys. It can only go up. I don't see any hiccups along the way in the near future because of how good our players are. Understand, guys, that we have top class players, and the best is Bruno Fernandez and Paul Pogba. That is the best. Bruno Fernandez, let's talk about him. Before I'm going to go into the team selections, let's just get these two guys out the way. Bruno Fernandez is a world-class goal-scoring midfielder. Listen what I said. He's a world-class goal-scoring midfielder. His all-round game, there's still some things that you can desire for. There's still some shortcomings. But in terms of scoring goals from a midfield position, he's world-class in doing that. He's world-class. He's the best goal-scoring midfielder in Europe. There is no one that comes close to him when it comes to scoring goals. He is fantastic. And I'm saying midfielder, but in actual fact, Bruno's more of a false nine, guys. Bruno's more of a second striker. He plays more of a second striker than a midfielder. Because prime example was the game when we played Villarreal in the Europa League final where we lost. Bruno Fernandez could not play as the number 10 as we want him to. A number 10 plays in between the lines. Bruno's not good at that. A number 10 links the midfield with the attack. Bruno's not great at that. But what Bruno is world class in is attacking the box and scoring goals. He's world class at doing that. He's an elite finisher when it comes to scoring, guys. This guy is the best goal scoring midfielder in the world. And he showed it today. Hat-trick. Hat-trick. And do you know how many shots he had? Let me just go to his stats and put his stats up for you right now. 43 touches. He had 21 accurate passes, 75% pass accuracy, which is not good. Which is not good for number 10 who is supposed to be excellent with the ball at his feet and take the most care with the ball. I understand risk taking. I understand that there's going to be passes that don't come off, but 75% is not what you want from a number 10. Hence, I say Bruno plays more like a false 9 than he plays like a number 10. Because for a number 10, you should not be having 75% pass accuracy. You should not be having that. A number 10 should be having anything from 80% upwards. But Bruno 75 pass accuracy, so that's not good. 3 key passes, 0 out of 3 crosses completion, 1 out of 2 long balls completed, 3 shots on target. This is where I was going. He had 3 shots on target and he scored 3 goals. Bruno's efficiency is through the roof. Bruno's finishing is through the roof. If Bruno does not have 90% finishing in FIFA, they've robbed him. Because the guy's finishing is 90%. Yeah, it's 100% because he got 3 shots on target and 3 goals. But Bruno's finishing is 90%, guys. This guy is a world-class finisher from the midfield position because that's what he classifies himself as. He's a world-class finisher. It's the same with Mason Greenwood. World-class finisher. These guys don't need many chances. If you give them a chance, it's in the back of the net. They are so good with finishing and with scoring and with shooting. So good. 0 shots off target. 1 shot was blocked. 0 out of 2 dribbles completed. He's not a dribbler. He's not a ball-carrying midfielder, supposed to like with Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is a ball-carrying midfielder. Paul Pogba is a dribbler. He's got all the skill in the world. He's got an array of a skill set where he can do different skills. He can do step overs. He can do your Rabonas. He can do your rainbow flicks. He can do everything. But Bruno's not their player. So 0 out of 2 dribbles completed, which doesn't really surprise me. 1 out of 8 ground duels won, not good. 0 out of 1 aerial duels won. Look at Bruno's not tall. Bruno's not tall, so you don't expect Bruno to be winning headers, guys. And that's not what you need your number 10 to do either way, so that doesn't really even matter. Lost possession 15 times, was fouled once. Lost possession 15 times, that's fairly okay and fairly good for Bruno because usually he's losing possession 20 times in a game. So 15 times, more or less, it's okay and it's good for Bruno. Taking into consideration, he himself says that he takes risks, and with taking risks, sometimes they're not going to come off and sometimes they are going to come off because it's a risk. That's what he says. He takes those risks with his passing. But the man of the match performance, the man of the match of this game is really difficult to give. And it's obviously between 2 players, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandez. It's just, who do you want to give it to? And you can hit the comments right now and you can tell me who was your man of the match. But for me, I think you have to give it to Bruno because he scored a hat-trick. You know, goals are more celebrated than assists. Goals are kept in higher standards than assists. So he scored 3 goals, man of the match performance. I don't mind giving it to him. And that's what Bruno is, guys. He's a goal scoring midfielder and he's the best at it in Europe. Play to his strengths. I've always said, even if you go to my previous videos, I'm screaming, play to players' strengths. Understand what Bruno gives and understand what he doesn't give. Bruno will not give you certain attributes that a number 10 would give you, like he won't play in between the lines and he won't link the play as good as probably, let's say, as good as a Kevin De Bruyne, as good as a once David Silva. He won't give you that. He won't give you that. But what he will give you that they can't give you is his goal scoring. And it's an elite level and we need to play to his strengths. Even in this game, you saw Bruno Fernandez switching positions a lot with Mason Greenwood, who was the striker. Bruno Fernandez running in behind Mason Greenwood and Mason Greenwood running in front of Bruno Fernandez. So they were switching like this. They were running like this. And that's one of the things that I hope that we can see more of during the season. I hope that's been practiced during training so that we can see more of that, because that causes panic for the defenders. They don't know whether to go with Mason Greenwood or to hold their line and go with Bruno Fernandez. So I hope we can see more of that. But that's what Bruno gives you, guys. As I said, he attacks the box the best in Europe from the midfield position. The best. And he'll always have high scoring numbers because he's so efficient in front of the net. He knows where is the back of the net. Like, for example, Paul Pogba's chance that he had in the first half. That was Bruno Fernandez. That was a goal. Because just how efficient Bruno Fernandez is. But there's certain things that Paul Pogba can do that Bruno Fernandez can't do. So those are Bruno's statistics, guys. Man of the match performance. He got 3 goals, got a hat-trick. Man of the match performance. Then let's go to Labile. Let's go to Paul Pogba. This guy, he's a top 5 player in the world. I don't care who else is in that top 5 and who is not in that top 5. Paul Pogba is there. He's a top 5 player in the world. We can't no more say, we must no longer say Paul Pogba is one of the best midfielders in the world. He has transcended that. Now we need to be saying Paul Pogba is one of the best players in the world. He's a top 5 player, guys. And for me, he's the best midfielder in the world. Because there's no one that can do what he does. No one that can do what he does. He's off the charts. Off the charts. And as I said, it's just up to you who you want to give the man of the match to. You can give it to Bruno Fernandez or you can give it to Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba gave 4 assists. 4 assists in one game. And it weren't 3-yard assists, a 5-yard pass assist where the player still needs to do work. He was making through balls, cutting open defenses. And the weight of pass, guys, for his assists. Understand weight of pass. You know, some players that pass you the ball and it doesn't matter how the ball gets to you as long as it gets to you. And you have to take 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches to control that ball. Then only you can think of what to do. But when the weight of pass is accurate, when the weight of pass is perfect, that player does not even have to take a first touch because the ball sits for him. Paul Pogba's weight of pass for Bruno Fernandez's second goal, where Bruno Fernandez scored at his left foot with the player cleared it off the line. If that was his second goal, you can just correct me. But Paul Pogba's assist for that goal, where Bruno Fernandez scored at his left foot and the player almost cleared it off the line, that was good. That was okay, that weight of pass. His weight of pass for Mason Greenwood's goal, my gosh. Paul Pogba almost made that pass from the halfway line. The pass went around the defender and set up for Mason Greenwood. Set up for Mason Greenwood that Greenwood did not even have to break the stride of his run. He ran onto the ball. Understand how good this player is, guys. He ran the game for us. He ran the game for us. He missed his chance in the first half and he did not allow his head to drop. And that's one thing with Paul Pogba, and that's one thing with all the best players in the world, that they can have moments in the game where they let themselves down, they let the team down, but they will never allow their heads to drop up. They will always still come and demand the ball. Always. How many times you've seen Paul Pogba play in the midfield as their double pivot, as a CDM, get the ball, and the minute he gets the ball, someone nicks the ball off of him. That doesn't deter him. He still goes back and demands the ball from the centre backs, demands the ball from his right back or his left back, and gets it in dangerous positions because he doesn't allow his head to drop when he makes a mistake. That's the mark of a top player. All of them are like that. Neymar, doesn't matter if his dribble never come off, he'll still want to dribble again. Cristiano Ronaldo, doesn't matter if that game may seem his shooting boots are not on, he'll still have more shots at the goal, and he'll make sure that he comes off that pitch with a goal in his pocket. The best players never allow their heads to drop because they got full confidence in their ability, and that's Paul Pogba. He missed that chance. He's supposed to score that chance, and he might have made it harder than what it was because he done a step over and tried to hit it with his left foot, whereas he could have tripped the ball, or he could have even gone to the far post, opened up his body and gone to the far post. He could have done that, but he made it harder for himself. He missed. He never allowed his head to drop, and he ended up putting, some people would say, a man of the match performance. He ended up getting 4 assists, world-class passes. Even his first assist for Bruno Fernandez, the first goal, look at that pass. Backspin, look at the backspin on that pass. Even Paul Scholes was saying not many players will be able to see that pass, and even very fewer players will be able to complete that pass. Paul Pogba saw the pass, he completed that pass with the backspin. Understand how good this guy is. This is just what Bruno Fernandez says about Paul Pogba. He says, people discuss the quality of Paul, but that is not up for discussion. Today showed what he can do, he will be important for us. Guys, Paul Pogba's quality, Bruno says, is not up for discussion. Everybody knows how good this guy is. And the people get on Paul Pogba's back because of what he does or what they think of him outside of the pitch. Got nothing to do with what he's doing on the pitch, because Paul Pogba has been delivering for Manchester United. He has been delivering. He is our best player on the pitch. He's our best player on the pitch, and he does deliver for Manchester United. But the people that get on Paul Pogba's back, it's because of what his agents is doing, because of what his agent done in the past, saying Paul Pogba wants to leave this club and so forth and so forth. And also because of his social media, what he was doing on social media, dancing and all these type of things. People get on Paul Pogba's back. But it got nothing to do with football, because when you're talking about football, there's nothing you can say about Pogba. And that's what Bruno Fernandez says. The quality of Paul Pogba is not up for discussion. It's not. So you can never discuss his quality, because as I said, he's a top 5 player in the world. Top 5 player in the world. His quality is not up for discussion. This guy is an amazing footballer, world-class footballer. And let me just read to you his statistics. So he had 49 touches, 75.8% pass accuracy, which is not good. But take into consideration, guys, that this guy was playing in the first half on the left wing. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt because he played on the left wing. But I do know when Paul Pogba plays in the midfield, he gets a higher pass accuracy. 0 out of 0 crosses, 5 out of 6 long balls, which is very good. It's excellent. 5 out of 6 long balls completed, 1 chance created, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, 0 shots blocked, 1 out of 2 dribble attempts completed. As I've said, guys, Bruno Fernandez is not a dribbler. Paul Pogba is a dribbler. He will always dribble in the game. He'll always carry the ball in the game. 1 big chance missed, which is in the first half. He missed that one-on-one with the keeper. 3 out of 10 ground duels won, which is not good. 1 out of 2 aerial duels won. You do expect Paul Pogba to win his aerial duels because of how good he is in the air with his head. He's tall, he's big, he's strong. 17 times he lost possession and 2 fouls. 4 assists. 4 assists. That's all you need to know. 4 assists. Now, let's talk about Paul Pogba's position, guys. So, Paul Pogba, Oli played Paul Pogba on the left wing. Let me just put up the team right now. So, Oli went to the 4-2-3-1, right? And Paul Pogba is playing on the left wing. Now, I will prefer Paul Pogba playing on the left wing than when he plays in the double pivot as a CDM. I will prefer the left wing all day. But Paul Pogba is not a winger. You will not get the best out of Paul Pogba when he's playing on the wing. Because there's one attribute that he cannot access when he's playing on the wing, and that's his passing range. On the wing, what you'll get from Pogba is you'll get him carrying the ball. You'll get him going one-on-one with people and dribbling past them. You'll get him creating chances. And you'll get him scoring. That's what you will get from him. But you will never access his passing range, because you don't have a passing range and you can't access your passing range when you're playing on the wings. Doesn't matter if you're playing on the left wing or the right wing, you cannot access your passing range. Paul Pogba is a midfielder. He needs to play as a midfielder. He needs to play as a number 8 box to box with freedom to go forward. Because this guy got the last pass and he's got a goal inside of him. So you don't want to play a midfielder that got the last pass. You don't want to play him in his own half. You don't want to play him on the halfway line. You need to play him as close to the attackers as possible, because he got the final pass. The pass before the goal is called the final pass. He's got that. So you want to play him as close to the attackers as possible, but we need to give this guy freedom to go forward, but also with the responsibility to track back. He needs to play as a number 8. That is his best position. He said that the left of the midfielder is his best position. Now, Oli doesn't play 4-3-3, and that's another thing that I want to address. People were saying on social media, on Twitter, that Oli's going to change his formation to 4-3-3. And I knew that was a lie. Oli plays 4-2-3-1 because of his own reasons. I don't want to get into those reasons now. We won. But for his own reasons, he plays 4-2-3-1. So we can't ask Paul Pogba to play in the left of a midfield when he plays 4-2-3-1. So what we do need to ask for is that Paul Pogba needs to have freedom going forward. He has to have freedom going forward from the midfield area, but also the responsibility and the discipline to track back and defend, because he can't do it. He can't do it. And so we need to see Paul Pogba being playing in the midfield, because we need to see his passing range. He has one of the best passing ranges in the world of football. Probably top two. Probably top two. If you want to stretch it, you can say top three, but I'll even say top two passing range in the world of football. His passing range is world class. It's world class. It's elite level. He can drop the ball wherever you want it. And we saw in this game his passing range, and we saw the final pass. 4 assists. The final pass, he made them 4 times. So we need to see this guy in the midfield. And hopefully, with the inclusion now of Varane, hopefully Oli gets more bold and he doesn't have to play with 2 holding midfielders. Hopefully. So that's my take on Paul Pogba, guys. Top 5 player in the world. The best midfielder. Elite footballer. And he's a generational footballer, because midfielders of Paul Pogba's ilk don't come around every year. They don't. He's a generational midfielder. So let's go to the team, guys. As I said, Oli sets out 4-2-3-1. David De Gea in nets. Never have too much to do. The goal that went past him, to be honest, no keeper in the world will save that. That side netting was hit with so much venom, so much power. No goalkeeper in the world will save that. So I can't fault Dave. He never have much to do, so I'll give him a 6, because he never have much to do. Wan-Bissaka, I'll give Wan-Bissaka a 7. I thought Wan-Bissaka was good. Especially going forward, he looked a bit better. Still not at a level that Manchester United need for a fullback bombing forward, but it looks better than what it was last season. I think also got a lot to do with the opponent that we versed, and I'll get into that also. But Wan-Bissaka 7. Lindelof got the assist, so I'll give Lindelof an 8. Lindelof got the assist for Bruno Fernandez goal, the one where he hits on the volley. And this is the thing, guys. People say Harry Maguire's a ball playing centre back and so forth. Lindelof is better than Harry Maguire when it comes to passing. How many times we've seen Lindelof play balls from defense to attack and give assists? Even towards the end of last season, I don't know who scored it. I think it was Amad Diallo. Someone, but Lindelof played the ball from defense over the opponent's defense, and our attacker scored the goal. Yeah, he played another ball from defense. He played it into Bruno Fernandez. He got an assist from the defense. Harry Maguire hasn't done that yet. Lindelof was better than Harry Maguire on the ball. Lindelof an 8 because he got an assist, and I think he had a solid game. Harry Maguire, I'll give him a 7. He had a solid game as well. Luke Shaw, I'll give Luke Shaw a 7. I never see much of Luke Shaw going forward, to be honest with you. I don't know why. He never hit that Euro level that he hits in the Euros. He never hit that level, but he'll get into it. He's still solid, still very solid. I'll give him a 7. Scott McTominay had a good first half, but in the second half you never see too much of Scott. But this is a game for Scott. This is a game for Scott, and that's why I weren't too upset when Oli played Scott, because I expected it. And this is a game for Scott. Scott does well in games where he can run around and kick the opposition. When the opposition are coming toward us and they are front-footed, that's when Scott does well. But where Scott doesn't do well is when we have the ball and we need to break down a stubborn defense. That's where you cannot be playing Scott McTominay, and I will point to the manager when he plays Scott McTominay in those type of games. But playing Scott McTominay in these type of games where the opposition are front-footed, the opposition want to attack us and they are brave, I'm all for it, because he runs around, he kicks people, and he just gets in the way. So I'll give Scott probably a 7. Fred got a goal, and I thought in the second half Fred really came up to life. So I think I'll give Fred an 8 because he got a goal. Well taken goal. We attacked the box well, and well taken goal. Give Fred an 8. Dan James, I give Dan James a 5. Dan James was the worst player on the pitch for us. Bad. And you can clearly see the levels of where everyone else is at and where Dan James is at. Everyone else is here, Dan James is here. His decision making is so bad. His footballing IQ is so low. He's not supposed to be playing for Manchester United. He's not even good enough as a squad player, because he doesn't give us anything. He played against Leeds. He gave us absolutely nothing. So I'm going to give him... What did I give him? I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5. I think it is a... 5. I think it is an... Bad performance from Dan James, to be honest with you. Bruno Fernandez, we have to give him a 10. Look here, he scored a hat-trick. So when players get hat-tricks, you have to give them a 10. Even on FIFA, it works like that. So 10 for Bruno, and Paul Pogba, I'll give Paul Pogba a 9. He got 4 assists, so I'll just give Paul Pogba 9. As I said, my man of the match will go to Bruno, so will be a 10. But Paul Pogba a 9. World-class performance from Paul. And then Mason Greenwood, I give Mason Greenwood an 8 because he got his goal. Apart from that, he did show moments of brilliance. He did show his link-up play, but this was a perfect game for Mason Greenwood. Just like Dan James, I will say about Mason Greenwood playing in the number 9 position, it can come off when you play in this type of opponent. When you play in this type of opponents, it can come off. But when you play in an opponent that's defends with a low block, that is very compact, that says break me down, that's where I want to see can Mason Greenwood play as a number 9 then. Because there's no space to run into. When there's space to run into, you can play Mason Greenwood. And he will look good because there's space to run into. But when there's no space, that's where I want to see him. So, but I think it was a good performance from Mason. And I give Mason a 7. He scored his goal. So, good performance from Mason Greenwood. I don't know if I gave him an 8 or a 7. You can just correct me. But I think I gave him an 8. Yeah, I give Mason Greenwood an 8. He scored his goal. And he looked good, so I'll give Mason Greenwood an 8. Guys, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'll give Ole a 8 as well. The right team he put out, they delivered for him. He brought Jadon Sancho on, who's a tidy footballer, some good touches. Spatial awareness is very good. He knows where he is on the pitch. He knows when to play one-touch football. He knows when to drive with the ball. Very intelligent footballer. Brought Anthony Martial on. Never see too much of Tony. But I hope the next game Tony starts because we need him. We need him. So guys, that's my match review. Excellent results. Excellent performance. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and I'll see you all for our next game. Peace.